What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. This is the Hendersonville League Cup round number 3, and things are getting started here. And on the left we have Joseph, and on the right we have Moses, and we're gonna see what is going to happen, guys. Remember, this is round number 3, and I do apologize for this round and some of the next round. There is a glare on these cards. There's a lighting issue, and we get it fixed after this game, so I do apologize for that, and you're going to see that from the start. So there is a Tauros and Moses act spot, so there's a Tauros and a Wobbuffet in Joseph's spot. So right now we have two interesting things going on. So Moses is going to put a Force of Giant Plants, play a Trainer as well, and you see a Burst Balloon in his hand. So, you could be thinking, like, what, you're playing a Decidueye, maybe Decidueye Vileplume, but the Burst Balloon is what makes things different. There is a Tauros in the act spot, so that's what we definitely do see a lot. And, you know, in the Decidueye deck, there's a Beedrill in his hand as well, so we see Trainer as well. Look at top cards of his deck. I see an Ultra Ball, and I think I saw a Break card. Let's see if we can see his hand again, and there's an Ultra Ball going to his hand, okay. So what is Moses playing here? So he's going to Ultra Ball, discard a Flareon and a Beedrill. And this is when you know, alright, I'm not playing against Decidueye, I'm playing against something unique. So we see an Ultra Ball for Shaman, which he can't use because there's a Wobbuffet in the act spot. And I wonder if he realizes or not. So he's going to look and see what's he going to do. There's an Ultra Ball, going to discard. Oh, he trains one for Ultra Ball. Going to grab a Shaman. And will he play the Shaman down? There's a Wobbuffet in the act spot with Bite Barricade shutting down all abilities. And does he catch this or not? Or does he put down the Shaman? And let's see what happens. There's a Shaman coming down, and you see Joseph immediately saying, "Nope, I have a Wobbuffet," and we're gonna see Sycamore. Most of them discard his hand, drawing 7 new cards, not catching that Wobbuffet play. All right, but there we see Yanma, we see Yanmega, and a Yanmega break, and all of a sudden, you know, things are very different. And you see Joseph picking up that Yanmega break, saying, "What's going on here?" And for those who don't know, Yanmega has the ability Sonic Vision. You have exactly 4 cards in your hand. Ignore all energy in the attack costs of each of this Pokemon's attacks. Its attacks are Assault Boom, does 50. If there's a tool attached to it, does 70 more damage. And the break has Barrier Break for 100 damage straight up, not affected by weakness, resistance, or any effect on your opponent's act Pokemon. But on to Joe's turn, we see a Winona, so things are already interesting on the other side of the field as well. We see a Winona coming down, which we usually we haven't seen this in such a long time. So what's he going to grab with Nona? Is he going to play like some kind of a Rayquaza deck? Is he playing, I mean, Rayquaza is the only thing that comes to mind, or maybe some kind of Quad Tauros deck. Now with Wobbuffet, you think he'd be playing Mewtwo, right? You know, Wobbuffet has seen a super amount increase in the Mewtwo decks, but there we see, alright, so there's a Tauros coming down, so alright, so there's one piece. There's a Raticate coming down, and you can't use Ratatate's ability because Wobbuffet's in the act spot, okay. And we see another Rattata come down, and all of a sudden you got him thinking, what's going on here? What kind of deck are we watching right now? And guys, things are about to get really interesting here in a second, and this is gonna be a crazy game. I do promise that. So we have a Yanmega break versus a Raticate deck, and I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. So we see a DC going down to that Tauros, okay. And does Joseph have a way to retreat? Nope, just a Burst Balloon will be discarded. On to Moses' turn. Let's see what is going to happen now. Alright, so you gotta think, if you're Moses here, you're playing an interesting deck, and now you're playing against an interesting deck, and oh my goodness, guys, this is gonna be crazy. So we see, oh man, what card is that? Looks like a VS Seeker for Sycamore. Going to discard his hand, drawing 7 new cards. Alrighty, so let's see. What does he find here with this Sycamore? Does he find... So the Yanmega down as well. So another Yanmega coming down. It can't attack right now because that Wobbuffet is in the act spot. So it's very hard for most to pull off an attack. We do see an Escape Rope in his hand. But does he have enough cards to play it down to use a Yanmega attack this turn to knock out Raticate? So it looks like we see... I do apologize. It looks like a Super Rod show back in the Flareon and a Beedrill. Okay. We'll see those cards being shuffled back into his deck. Alright. And what I mean, he has an escape rope. With the escape rope, does he have four cards in his hand? I think he does actually. All right, so we see an escape rope. Both players are gonna switch. Okay, and let's see who Joseph decides to bring up here. You know Moses is gonna immediately bring up that Yanmega with the break, and we see we see Joseph sit at that Tauros with the DC, and you got to be thinking, oh, if you're Moses here, what do you do? Do you attack for 100? Do you do 50 damage? Um, Yanmega Break has 140 HP, so you can attack for 100. It doesn't take a knockout, and they receive four cards in his hand. You see him right there showcasing, like, hey, I have four cards in my hand. We're good to go. I can start attacking thanks to Sonic Vision. And does he go for the Barrier Break, or does he go for the regular attack? And let's see, dice are getting put out, and we see that it is going to be the Barrier Break for 100, which I do think is a smarter play, so you can two-shot this Tauros. And right now, the only way it can knock you out is if you use the GX attack. Right now, Rage will only do 120 damage, which he could hypothetically like Lyson over Shaman and take a knockout that way, but then your own Tauros gets knocked out. There's a DC going out of Rattata. Okay. We see another Rattata hitting the field as well, so three Rattatas are on Joseph's side of the bench, which is it just makes you kind of happy. And there's an end. Both players are going to shuffle up and get 6 new prize cards. All right, so what does Joseph need to find here? Well, he needs to find his Raticates. He wants to get Raticates out, get a Raticate break eventually, and start attacking with Super Fang. And what does he partner with this Raticate break? Does he play Ariados? Does he play something else? I mean, when you think about Raticate break, you definitely think about Ariados, but we haven't seen a Spinarak from Joseph just yet. So we see a Raticate coming down. That one is a Crunch. I know he plays two different Raticates, so I have both of them popped up on my screen right now just so I can remember which one does what. I haven't tested too much Raticate. Never seen Eva Soda for another Raticate, I imagine is what we're going to see here. So we'll see two Raticates coming down, and you're going to see Moses pick up that Eva Soda. It is a card that you really don't see anymore too much. But yeah, we'll see an Eva Soda. Gonna get out of Raticate. Cannot get a break because that Raticate just came down. Okay. And we're going to see Moses pick up that Raticate. He doesn't have to be too scared about it. Crunch doesn't really do too much. It does 10 discard energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. And Shadow Bite does 60 times the amount of special energies in your opponent's discard pile. But they receive the other Raticate, the same Raticate come down, the Crunch and the Shadow Bite, which could hypothetically run your opponent out of energies. You can just crunch them all off. But Moses right now doesn't need energies because he does have the Wobbuffet with the ability to attack for free. Alright, so we're going to see Moses get a good cut here. And what do we see here? Do we see a Mad Bull GX for the knockout? Or do we see a Rage for 120? You gotta think if you're Joseph here, you take a knockout, you get the real threat off the board, and make where Moses does not have attacker except for the Tauros, which it does not knock you out immediately because it only does 60 or 20 damage. So let's see what Joseph decides to do here. I'm personally a fan of just using Mad Bull GX here to take a knockout and getting rid of the only attacker, and that's what we're gonna see at Mad Bull knocking out that Pokemon. But on to Moses' turn. We see him bring up that Yanmega. We see a Yanmega come down, another Yanmega come down as well, and we'll see a Trainer's Mail. Look at top cards of his deck. He does hit 2 VS Seekers, a Yanmega Break, and I think an Ultra Ball in his hand. So let's see what he decides to do here. It looks like he is going to grab a VS Seeker. He needs to find a break this turn to actually knock it out. He could swing, but it only do 50 damage, which doesn't knock out the Tauros, and then you put yourself in a position to be knocked out by a Rage attack. So let's see, what does Moses decide to get here? And hold on, he's going to look, and he is going to grab an Ultra Ball, which will allow him to get a Yanmega Break and swing this turn if he can't put his hand down to 4 cards. So we see a Jolteon and a Flareon being discarded, so you can see he does play a bunch of evolutions, which does help him out of different matchups, and I think that is a Yanmega Break. Once again, I do apologize for that glare. We do fix it. Oh no, so okay, hold on. He discards a, not sure. I couldn't tell what he discarded there. It looks like a Trainer with something else. There's a DC going to Tauros. And like I said, Tauros cannot take a knockout right now. We'll see a Shaman going to come down. Set up. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. I see a Vaporeon in his hand. So it looks like Moses is playing a bunch of different evolutions, just hit like do 200 damage that way. I do see Yanmega break in his hand, which he could put on the active, but can he put his hand down to 4 is the $1,000,000 question. It looks like he is going to try to figure it out. What can I do? What cards can I put down to knock out this Tauros? Okay. But man, all right. So we'll see what does Moses decide to discard here. We know he has a break in hand. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. And does he find anything or not? He's just sitting here for a second deciding what should I put down. Can I manipulate my hand down to 4 cards or not? There's a Yanmega break, like I said. I see it on the far right already. And he is debating what to do here. He's in a pickle right now. So there's an Ultra Ball. Going to discard a Vaporeon, and I don't know what the other card was. I do apologize. And there's another Glared card coming down. Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. Like I said, after this game we do get it fixed. I didn't notice it during this round. So looks like he grabs another Yanmega. Okay. So we'll see a Yanmega come down. We'll see a retreat into the Buffalo. And will he Horn Attack here? If he does Horn Attack, this gives Joseph the option to rage for the knockout. Oh man, so let's see, does he go for a Horn Attack? Or does he just, oh no, he's just going to pass here. Alright, so on to Joseph's turn, does he fight a Lysander? If he does fight a Lysander, he could bring up that Shaman EX, rage, and go down to 3 price cards. And right now, it's just like a Tauros versus Tauros matchup. Which is fine for Joseph. He is in the driver's seat. He does have a Tauros that's already damaged. So he's fine with this. He's a-okay with this right now. So Joseph is going to look through Moses' discard pile, see what's all in there. What kind of options does he have to play after this turn? All right. And he's going to look through his hand. Looks like he has, I mean, I just can't believe Moses didn't play a supporter card. I mean, I don't know what he had. Maybe he had a Sycamore and nothing, and he didn't want to discard a bunch of resources or something. So we do see a Raticate break hit in the field, and there we go. There's the monster. There's a Super Fang. Which can put your opponent down to 10 HP left, or put enough damage counter still has 10 HP left, which is very, very scary for sure. But how does Joseph finish off these Pokemon? That is the $1,000,000 question. So, does Joseph have a Lysander? I do see a Winona in his hand, which allows him to get 3 more normal colors, again, not normal, but colors type Pokemon if he wants to go that route. We could see a, I don't even know what you do here. If you go for a Horn Attack on this Buffalo or this other Tauros, that Tauros knocks you out. If you go for Horn Attack, but there's a Lysander, bring it up a Yanmega actually, and going to take a knock on a Yanmega going down to 2 price cards, okay? So Joseph is going to play a little bit, you know, he wants to take a knockout, go to Rage, knock out the Yanmega. It only has 110 HP, if I remember correctly, and we see Joseph bring up that other Yanmega. Alright, so on to Joseph's turn, can he find a way to take a knockout? I'm just looking, yeah, Yanmega only has 110 HP, so that easily gets knocked out by a Rage. I'm doing 120. Okay, so let's see what Joseph does here. Does he have a way to attack with Yanmega Break? If he does, he can knock out this Tauros, going to the 4 prize cards, and then we're all tied up. So there's Yanmega Break coming down. Does he find a Judge? I don't think we've seen a Judge out of Moses just yet. Okay. Gonna look through his discard pile. I think he has 5 cards in hand, maybe just 4. I'm not 100% sure. There's a VS Seeker. Okay, let's see. What does he decide to grab here? Alright, so I can't tell what that is. Okay, there's an N, and will he play it? Yes, he will play it. Now, with this in, Moses could put himself in a terrible position if he hits 6 dead cards that he can't use. Now, if he finds 2 Pokemon, he's fine. If he finds an energy Pokemon, he's fine. Unless he finds like Yanmega Break, then he's not fine already. But let's see, can Moses find, so 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I did see a DC in his hand, so that's at least 1 card he could put down. But outside of that, don't know what else is in his hand. I think I saw a Judge for next turn, which not very useful for right now. So there's a DC going on to Shaman, okay. And we're going to see a Retreat and a Sky Turn for 30 damage. Alright, so he's going to put a little more pressure on this Tauros. And can Joseph find another Lysander? If he can, he can knock out that bench Shaman, going down to 2 price cards. Alright, so let's see, what does he do here? Does he find another Raticate Break? Right now it's just Tauros, and there is a an Esper coming down. And Esper is hitting the field. You gotta be thinking, what is going on here? There's an Esper down on the ground and a Wobbuffet. There's a Raticate Break, a Tauros. what is Joseph playing? But that is the exciting thing about this his leak up is like there was two unique decks and they both played against each other, so I had to put them on stream. Both these guys are 2-0, which is fantastic, and we're gonna see what Joseph decides to do here. Does he have a VS Seeker? It looks like he's seeing how many cards are in Moses' hand. We know Moses has a Judge to attack next turn. But what Joseph could do is knock out the only Yanmega break on the field and make it where, Moses might not be able to attack. And there's an escape rope coming out to hand. You gotta be thinking, if you're Moses, what do you do here? Do you worry about this Raticate? Do you know what's going to happen? And that's, oh man. So we're gonna see Joseph look through Moses' discard pile, and let's see, who does Moses want to get hurt? Does he want his Twirl speed super damage? And we're gonna see a Shaman being promoted to the act spot, which isn't too bad. We know he has a decent hand to return it for next turn. And we will see a Raticate break come into the active spot. Alright, so we're going to see probably a Super Fang, going to put 108 damage on that Shaman, but Moses can just Sky Return to put it back into his hand. Alright, so we see 100 damage coming down, and on the Moses turn, let's see, what does he do? Does he go for a straight Sky Return? Does he, retreat the Shaman? And if you retreat the Shaman, you got to be thinking, do I have to worry about this Meowstic? What does it do? And right now, I don't know which Meowstic he plays. I think I know which one he plays. I think it is the damage change one for Flash Fire / Generations, but I could be wrong. We see a DC going to the active. It'll most likely see a Sky Return. I do think he's playing the Ear Influence one, which moves as many damage counters on your opponent's side of the field as you want to. So you can manipulate all the damage you put down with Raticate Break, with Tauros, whoever you want to, which is really unique. And we will see Sky Return for 30 damage. Yanmega coming to the act spot. So on to Joe's turn. Does he go for another Super Fang here? That could be a possibility. Does he license to bring up the Buffalo? The Tauros? That could be a thing as well. So we see a Meowstic coming down, and I think that is the Generations one, which is Ear Influence. I'm not 100% up to my artwork, but I really do think that's the Meowstic from Generations. And we're gonna see another Super Fang for 30 damage, for 60, sorry, okay. And let's see, what does Moses type Super DC go to the active, okay. And sorry, I'm looking up Meowstic Generations to see what it looks like. And there's a Judge, gonna put both players at 4 cards, and this will allow the Yanmega break to attack this turn. But wait, I think it can take a knockout. Yeah, Raticate Break only has 110 HP, so that's fine. I'm trying to look up images right now. But once Moses retreats his Yanmega Break, oh, and it is the Ear Influence one, Meowstic, I can 100% say that. But once Moses takes a knockout on this Raticate Break, Joseph can then promote his own Tauros to take a knockout on the Yanmega Break and go down to 3 price cards. Alright, so yeah, we're going to see Yanmega Break coming down. We'll see a knockout. I can do 100 damage. Raticate Break only has 110 HP. And let's see, we'll see a knockout. Okay, there we go. And on the Joe's turn, I mean, you gotta think he brings the Tauros and just rages for the knockout. I mean, it seems like the best play. Yeah, you do get knocked out by your opponent's Tauros' GX. But I think that's what you have to do here. So I wanted. Okay, so here we go. There's another Raticate Break hit in the field. Okay. And let's see, what else does Joseph have? Alright, does he find another Raticate to go on the Rattata? That'd be really nice to have another attacker back up. I mean, I just don't even know how this game plays out. I mean, when you're playing against Joseph, what do you do here? Like, how do you even play against his deck? And if you're Joseph, you say the same thing as well. How do you play against his Yanmega Break deck? Both players probably know how to take down the meta game with their decks. They just, haven't really seen a deck like these before. So we see another Winona from Joseph going to search for 3 colors Pokemon, which can get him another Raticate. If he wants to go, I mean, Raticate definitely seems like one of the best decisions right now. But what else does he get out? Maybe another Rattata, maybe another Raticate Break for the next turn. That doesn't seem like a bad 3 cards for sure. So Joseph's gonna look through his deck and see what does he get here and what does he find. He's gonna find, okay, all right, there's a Raticate. Okay, that's 1. Raticate Break, and does he find a Rattata like I think he does, might as well thin your deck out while you can, or just grab another Raticate Break or another Raticate just so you don't draw into them again. And we see, okay, so the other Raticate coming down with the antibodies. That Raticate, I have it pulled up too. I had everything pulled up. Dirty Shock, your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Discard all tool cards attached to the Pokemon. Alright, so let's see what Joseph does here. I mean, you probably just rage for the knockout. Knock out this Yanmega Break. Then your opponent's Tauros comes up, hits it for a knockout, and then you attack with your Raticate to put 170 damage on the field. So we see Tauros taking the knockout with the rage attack. And let's see, what does Moses have this turn? I see a Fighting Fury going to the active. Okay. Alright. And, man, Fighting Fury Belt is actually really scary. Because you know Joseph plays those Rattatas, and that could become a big thing. Because what can happen is you can use Hyper Fang or Super Fang to put your opponent down to 10 HP left, which has 210 thanks to the Fear Belt. Then you can play your Rattata down, pop up the Fear Belt, and then somehow take your last two prize cards. Last prize card. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna see a Horn Attack for knockout. It does 60, and then that's enough for knockout. We'll see Raticate coming up. We kind of know how these couple turns are gonna play out. So on to Joseph's turn, he's gonna draw a card, and actually Joseph does have a game on the field next turn. Thanks to that Meowstic, he can Hyper Fang or Super Fang, put 220 or 210 on the active, and then you can manipulate the damage with Meowstic to knock out both the Yanma and the Shaman at the same time. Oh my goodness, that would be an amazing thing to see. So Joseph is going to look through the discard pile to see what can he do here. I mean, I definitely think you Hyper Fang this turn, or Super Fang, whatever it's called. I forget, keep calling what it is. It is Super Fang, not Hyper Fang. There we go. Alright, so, what's Joe? I mean, I think you just Super Fang here. I'm gonna put 210 on the active. So, yep, that's what I see. Okay, so he has 10 HP left. We know it's like 210 on the active. Alright, so see Yanmega coming out, which still there is enough damage on the field to knock out both of those Pokemon. Because Yanmega only has like, what? 110 HP. So you only need 50 to knock it out, and then there's like plenty of leftover to knock out the Shaman. So what can Moses do? Can he prevent a way to be knocked out? There's a burst one going to the Yanmega. That doesn't matter. If you're Moses here, you have to Lysander that Meowstic to take a knockout this turn. If you do not, you leave yourself in trouble. But even if he does that, there is a crunch Raticate down below that Raticate Break, which can attack. And there we see a switch into the Yanmega. Okay. And do we see a Judge? And it looks like we are going to see a Judge. Now, with this Judge, it makes it where Moses cannot evolve into a break and attack unless he finds a Shaman and the Shaman sets up and then manipulates his hands down to 4 cards. Now, all Joseph needs to find is a Psychic Energy, and he can Influence or the knockout to win this game. Oh my goodness. I hope we see this, guys. I hope we see an Influence to knock it out. Right now, that Yanmega is not even taking a knockout on that Raticate Break, which is really funny. But does Joseph find a Psychic Energy is the main question. We do see four cards in both players' hands, and we will see a barrier, not a barrier break, just Yanmega attack for 50. And does Joseph find a Psychic Energy this turn to knock out both Shaman and the Tauros GX? That would be insane to see. Alright, so does he have it or not? I mean, if he has a Psychic Energy, you slap it down to the Meowstic, you retreat, and you go for Influence, knocking out both Shaman and Yanmega. So is he a Lysander in Joseph's hand? Okay, so it looks like he is going to Lysander, bring up that Tauros, and he is just going to take a knockout with the Crunch. We see a Rattata come down. Oh no, we're going to see the Rattata play, knocking out the Fury Belt, taking 2 prize cards, going down to 1. We see Yanmega coming back into the active spot. And that was what I was talking about earlier with the Rattata play. That is such a cool thing. And we see a Psychic Energy, and he will use Shadow Bite for the knockout. Shadow Bite does do like 120 right now. I don't know if we drew the Psychic Energy off the price card if you had in hand already. Raticate Break does have a 1 retreat cost, so he could have retreated and done that. But there we go. We see the Rattata discarding the Fighting Fury Belt, which is amazing, and on to game number 2. And guys, I didn't say this earlier, but I want to give a shout out to the Game Cave too. On the other side of the table, you see somebody else playing a match, and that match was actually recorded. No, it's actually just streamed. It wasn't recorded. I do apologize. But that was recorded or streamed by the Game Cave 2. They're the ones who hosted this event. Big shout out to them. I'll have a link down below to their to the website. Make sure you go check them out. Let them know what's up. I'll leave a Facebook link as well to all the videos and the videos as well. Before this, I did forget to give them a shout out, but amazing place. It was really cool. They had a dragon head on the wall. It was really funny to watch people walk into that. It happened all the time. It was a really cool thing to see. But really amazing place, really nice. Everybody there was friendly. It was a big like I guess like Dungeons and Dragons or something. I think that's what it was. There's a lot of model figures there. There's a lot of people playing role-playing games, which is amazing. I love to see communities like this thrive and just seeing like other games grow, which I do love in general. But we see, here we go to game number 2. We see Joseph does mulligan and Moses does find a basic Pokemon. But yeah, huge shout out to the Game Cave too. Like I said, I will leave a link down below to their website and their Facebook page. Let them know that Team Fish Nickel sent you, and just show them love and support for hosting us this weekend. It was very cool to come on Saturday and let us record games as well as they did. So that was a really cool thing for sure. So here we go. Right now, Joseph did mulligan, so Moses gets an extra card to draw thanks to having no base Pokemon in Joseph's hand. So let's see, what does Joseph find here? We see 2 Pokemon coming down. Alrighty. And does he start with that Tauros? That's my main question. If he starts with Tauros, oh no, Wobbuffet could be a bad start for Moses as well, as we saw game number 1. But here we go, guys. On to game number 2, we see a Rattata and a Rattata for Joseph's side, and a Shaman for Moses, which you usually don't want. I mean, you never want to start Shaman, right? Alright, so we see a Burst Move being attached to the active. DCE, and I do see a Judge in his hand. There's a Trainer's Mail, Yanmega, Fighting Fuel, VS Seeker, and a Shaman. So none of those cards really that useful. I mean, he could maybe grab a Fear Belt, so that way if he plays another Trainer's Mail, he doesn't draw into it or something like that. But I know right now Moses does have a Judge in his hand. You can see it in the far right corner. And we will see at Ultra Ball. I'm going to discard 2 cards from his hand. Discard the Judge and something else. Once again, I do apologize for this blur. It does sort of go away after this game. And then after the game after that, we do fix it and it goes away and it's fine and dandy. But we see a Shaman EX coming down from from Moses, sorry. He can use it now since there's not a Wobbuffet in his opponent's active spot. Okay. So we see a Shaman. I don't know if, yeah. So Forest of Giant Plants. Shaman EX going to set it for 5 new cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I saw a Fear Belt and Yanmega, and not sure what the other 3 cards were. Okay, I mean, his only supporter card is a Judge. He could VS Seeker for Judge, and that's what we're going to see. Both players are going to get 4 new cards. Alright, so this could be a good or bad thing. I'm like 99% sure Joseph doesn't play any Shamans. I think he plays like, Wobbuffets and, other stuff, just counter Shaman and not play his own. But we know that Moses does. We see 2 out in the field. I don't think he plays any more than 2. 2 is usually enough for the Yanmega break deck. But it's going to come down to who gets a better draw off these 4 cards. And we'll see a pass on to Joseph's turn. And let's see what Joseph decides to do here. First question is, does he draw his card for turn? He has 4 in hand. Hopefully he remembers to draw a card. Alright, looks like a Slack Energy going to the Rattata. Alright, so looks like we might see somebody forget to draw the card, and we'll see it pass on to Moses' turn. And it does happen sometimes. So we see a Tauros coming down, and a Burst One being discarded, and we might just see a Scatter turn. DC on that Bouffalant. Okay. And does he play another VS Seeker for Judge? I don't think so. He has a Judge in hand, but I think right now you just Scatter turn. No, he's going to Retreat. And a Horde Attack for the knockout. Alright, so he's going to be aggressive, take a knockout. And you'll see Joseph sit in that Rattata. What does he draw here? Does he find a Pokemon or a supporter card or something? And okay, there's a Poison Barb. And we're gonna see it pass, and we will see. Oh, that was an unexcited game too. Well, that was just a Tauros stomping on some Rattatas. That's not very nice. But on to game number 3, we see that Joseph does play multiple Psychic Energies. We saw him show the back of his hand. But what needs to happen? Well, first off, Joseph, he needs to play cards. I mean, that's with any deck. You can get End or Judge down to a bad hand. and simply just lose game that way, and you can't really like help that. This just happens to Pokemon sometimes, unfortunately. But that's why this is best 2 out of 3. It does help when situations like that arises. But yeah, both players are going to shuffle. We're going to go to game number 3. Both these games were kind of quick, so I mean the players have enough time to finish out. This is a best 2 out of 3, 50 minutes, so they have plenty of time to finish this game number 3. And it's at least going to be like 20 plus minutes. Alright, we see the GX token being flipped over. We almost forgot about it last game. Alright, so the players are going to give players a cut, and let's hope that Joseph can find something at least, and find out the Pokemon put down on the field. Alright, so 6, alright. I think it was 7. So open 7-7. So we see a mulligan from Mo's side of the field, okay. And let's see, Joseph's going to put the Pokemon act spot. And he's going to put down his 6 prize cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright, so we do see a Pokemon coming down from Joseph. And we're going to see another cut. And hopefully we have a good number game 3 like we did game number 1. Game number 1 was so interesting with those decks battling back and forth. Some very roguish decks. And that makes me so happy on the inside. So, Moses does find a Pokemon. We'll see 6 cards coming down, and let's see what happens in game number 3. Joseph will take his mulligan draw, and let's see what happened, guys. Which one do you want to see win? Do you want to see this crazy Raticate Meowstic deck, or do you want to see a Yanmega break Tauros deck? Both players are playing Tauros, which is very interesting. And we see Joseph from the start double Rattata. Alrighty, so we see a Silent Lab coming down. Okay. And we see a Professor Later going to search for 2 Psychic Energies out of his deck. Alright, so not only does he play Wobbuffet, he plays down Silent Labs to shut down Shaman's as well, which is pretty cool. I started to question did he even play any because we didn't see any come down game number 1, but I guess they were kind of irrelevant near the start since he did have the Wobbuffet. So we see 2 Psychic Energies come into Joseph's deck. We could see it going down to a Rattata, just a attachment return. You don't have to waste a DCE and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. Let's see. What does just have an Ultra Ball? Does he have a Winona? We know he plays Winona. We know he likes that card, so it's just like going to the active. And we're just going to see a pass. Oh no, that is not good, guys. All right, we gotta hope that Joseph finds him to at least have a game. So let's see, what does Moses do here? He does have an Ultra Ball, but he can't Ultra Ball for Shaman as of right now because of that Silent Lab in play. So we see an Ultra Ball discarding 2 cards. I'm not sure what those are. Once again, I do apologize for the glare. And there is a Tauros coming down. And oh no, could we see a same thing like last time? Just Tauros just kick 2 Rattatas in the face and nope, sorry buds. Alright, or does he not have... Okay, I see Sycamore going to discard 2 VS Seekers and a Super Rod, and that's a lot of resources gone. 2 VS Seekers are something that almost every deck needs. Like, you need your VS Seekers, and he just threw 2 away. There's a Force of Giant Plants coming down, discarding that Silent Lab. Okay. He does have a Trainer's Maul. Go look at the top cards of his deck. There's a Vaporeon, a DCE, something else, and a Judge. Alright, so he'll might grab the Judge for next turn. I mean, I think no matter what, you grab it so you don't draw into it. So we see a Judge going into his hand. Joseph, you can't don't shovel your hand. He just played Sycamore. That'd be a automatically game loss. Alright, so we can see the Judge going into his hand for the Trainer's Maul. Okay. We see a DC going down to the Tauros, fighting Fearbelt. A switch, or no, an escape rope. Alright, so we'll see a Tauros just kick over Rattata again and just smush it like it was nothing. Oh no, does Joseph find something here? He needs to find another Pokemon. Going to draw a card. Does he find something or not? Or is it Raticate? Is it over for Raticate? Oh, I hope it's not. Alright, so we see an Eva Soda gonna get a Raticate out, which makes it, Raticate. So now Raticate cannot be knocked out. Raticate does have 60 HP. Never mind, Horn Attack can knock it out. Oh no, that's not good. But he does have Crunch. Crunch can discard that DCE, and then maybe Moses whiffs a DCE for a couple turns. Then, Joseph can build his bench back up and be good to go. Either way, you gotta be kind of scared if you're in Joseph's position. Does he find a Winona? Does he find a Love Ball? An Ultra Ball? He just needs to get another Pokemon down or he can automatically lose. There's a Psychic Energy going to the active. Oh no. Does he find a Pokemon or not? Does he find an Ultra Ball? A Winona? I see a DC in his hand. Oh no, let's see. I mean, will Crunch prevail and discard the DCE and make it where? Oh man, I think that's what we're gonna see here. We're gonna see a Crunch discarding the DCE and take a 10 damage. Okay, so on a Mo's turn, does he find a DCE? If he does, this game is over. There's a Yanma coming down. Okay, we see a Burst Mode going down to Yanma. Was he a Sycamore discard his hand? Draws 7 cards. Does he find a DC or not? Oh. Does he find one? Alright, so Yanmega coming down. We see a Yanmega break coming down. Okay. Does he have a switch and wait and put his hand down the forward? That could give him the knockout as well. There's a Trainer's Mail looking for top 4 cards of his deck. I do not see an Ultra Ball, so he can't find Shame around. There's a VS Seeker going to his hand. And does Joseph survive here? Oh man, that would be great to see. Can Raticate hold on for one more turn? Just one more turn, buddy. Alright, there's another Tauros hitting the field. And we will see a pass on to Joseph's turn, so he does survive. But once again, the clock is on Joseph. Does he find a Pokemon? Oh man, it's so nervous. He's gonna look through his opponent's discard pile, see what's all in there. Does he have three DCs in there? That's the only way he can knock him out with the Eradicate's attack. Are we gonna see another pass? Oh man. Let's see, what does Joseph do here? I'm gonna look through his discard pile, see what's all in there. Okay. What did he top deck? I don't. Is that a Lily in his hand? I think that's a Lily. To draw, do you have 6 cards in your hand? Or if it's turn number 1, you can draw, do you have 8? Oh man, is that what we're gonna see here? We're gonna see a Lily for like what, 1 card or 2 maybe max? Oh no, there's so many cards in Joseph's hand. This Lily is not gonna be very good. Okay, so let's see. Does he go for that? I mean, yeah, I think you do. You attach a DC to the active just so you can Lily for more cards. That way you can try to find a way to survive. Alright, so let's see. What does he do here? Can he play his hand down any way possible? He does have an escape rope. He could put that down and escape ropes him to the act spot. He does have a DC. He could put on the Eradicate, and then he could Lily for a couple cards. He does have a Professor Letter as well. So I think he has a lot of cards he could burn this turn, which is very good. He could put the DCE down. He could play the Professor Letter. He could play the escape rope. There's he a Lily. Okay, just drawing 2. Oh, that's so risky. I don't see a Pokemon. I think he drew a Psychic and a DCE and a Lysander. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, alright, so we're going to see... I guess he is going to attack for 60. Why? Okay, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. You lose anyway if he finds a DCE. There's a Yanmega break. VS Seeker for Sycamore. Go and discard his hand. Draw 7 cards. Does Moses find his DC or a way to switch this guy? And there's a DC going to the active, and we will see a knockout. Unfortunately, no. We had such a good game number 1, and we see, oh, that was a retrieval of Fresh Letter. Oh man, so like, oh, he did have an escape rope, so he could have escape rope. He could have Professor Letter. I don't know what he just drew into as his cards, but there we go, guys. We did see Eradicate win a game. It was so cool to see it attack and pull off that amazing discard fighting field play. But still, Yanmega is advancing and now is 3-0. Oh, that's great as well. So now we have a Yanmega break. I think it's 3-0. This could be X1 as well. I don't recall these players' records. I could be wrong. They could be 2-1. I didn't write down the records. This is round number 3. I know that for sure. But guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. We'll be back with more Hendersonville League Cup. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. What other crazy decks will we see? We have 2 more rounds left and top 8, top 4 in the finals. Thanks for watching. Alrighty. Bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.